Good evening, Bahamas. On the broadcast tonight, the F&M leader weighs in on the contentious interception of communications bill. Members of the customs union ready to resume negotiations with the government. And excitement building for the 17th CACIC Awards. Good evening and welcome to our news, the weekend edition. I'm Andrew Knowles. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Free National Movement leader Dr. Minnis is questioning government's decision to table that controversial interception of communications bill. Though government officials have called it a useful anti-crime tool, Minnis says its timing has led some Bahamians to believe it's more of a spy bill. Kyle Joaquin reports.
The question one has to ask, why do they want to bring a bill at this particular time during an election? That's the question.
Since it was tabled on February 8th, the bill has ignited heavy debate over privacy. The bill will allow the Commissioner of Police or a person acting on his behalf to obtain a warrant from a Supreme Court judge to intercept and examine a person's communications from telecommunications operators, internet providers, and postal services. Opponents believe that if passed, it will be used as a political tool to spy on Bahamians. Minnis said it comes at a time when people already find it hard to trust the government.
So why do you want to discuss such a bill at this time, pre-election, when you will spy, gather information on the Bahamian populace, though we respect the decisions of the judiciary, but hell if I respect the politicians. They can't be trusted. Ask the average Bahamian if they trust them, and they're going to tell you no.
If passed, it will replace the current Listening Devices Act. Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson has already come out in defense of the bill, denying claims that it's for spying purposes. Again, for Minnis, it's a matter of trusting politicians with personal information.
If you don't trust them, yes, the information may go to the court, and we trust the court, we trust the judges. But let's look at what's happening in the U.S. today. Intelligence information has leaked out. Who are they accusing for the leakage? They're saying the politicians.
The bill's tabling has led to considerable pushback from civic groups like the Grand Bahama Human Rights Association and environmental group Re-Earth, both of whom have pushed heavily on social media to, quote, kill the bill. Minnis said rather than dealing with this bill, government should seek to bring more clarification to the National Intelligence Agency.
Why should they not concentrate on making the National Intelligence Agency a legal entity? How you have an illegal spying agent spying on us, probably listening to our phone calls, legalize that. That's an issue we need to do. What have they been doing? What have they been doing for the past 4 years?
Reporting for our news, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Thanks, Kyle. A former chairman of the Bahamas Mortgage Corporation says he's still not impressed with the Christie administration's revamped mortgage relief plan, even after officials revealed that 408 borrowers are enrolled in the plan and more than 1,700 homeowners are eligible. For more, here's Giorgio Bain.
Former chairman of the Mortgage Corporation, Dr. Dwayne Sands, says while Bahamians should celebrate that hundreds of struggling borrowers will receive some form of mortgage relief under the government's revamped plan, it is far from what was promised on the campaign trail ahead of the 2012 general election.
Let's celebrate relief for any homeowner who has been under pressure and under stress. But when we compare it to the big picture, that we have more than 4,000 mortgages in distress, and even with the particular terms of the revamped, revised, newly introduced mortgage relief plan, that only about 400 or so of the 1,900 that you said were going to qualify for this program actually get some relief. And there are very specific levels of relief that are provided by this watered-down plan.
The plan is expected to assist more than 1,000 homeowners who are 90 days or more past due as of May 2016. The Christie administration's first attempt at mortgage relief failed, helping only a dozen homeowners. According to Sands, mortgage relief sits among several unfulfilled election campaign promises. He advised voters not to be fooled.
When the Bahamian people look at this and say, is this what we were promised? The answer is absolutely no, this is not what you were promised. And of all the signature programs of everything that has been promised by this administration in the lead up to the 2012 general election. You can go one by one, talk about crime, no better. Talk about jobs, well, they got some little play jobs. Talk about NHI. The Right Honorable Prime Minister got up and said, you could take this to the bank. January 1st, 2016, NHI will be here. Well, we're now almost in March of 2017. Ain't no NHI.
Sands says he has one question for the electorate, and that is, are they in a better place than they were in 2012?
Mortgage relief? Okay, if you want to call this the mortgage relief plan that you intended, fine. But quite frankly, the question is, has it made an impact? What Bahamians need to do is to ask themselves, are they better off than they were in 2012? The answer is a clear, resounding no for most people, I've been told. And I think I'm going to remind your viewing and listening audience, don't listen to the noise in the marketplace, but don't register or spoil a ballot. Get registered, go and vote this crew out.
An amended homeowners protection bill was presented in Parliament and has been branded as a comprehensive response to the country's mortgage crisis. Reporting for our news, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
In other news tonight, responding to calls by Labor Minister Shane Gibson for the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union to return to the negotiating table with the government, Union President Sloan Smith proposed resuming talks as early as next week. Despite years of negotiations, the two sides have failed to execute a new industrial agreement on behalf of customs and immigration officers. However, Smith says it's time to reach a resolution.
All he has to do, give us a date sometime next week, and we'll be there. We will bring our document that we've put together, and we'll put that on the table. And in fact, I will sign the back of it in good faith to show them we are prepared to sign what we agreed 2014, 2016, and this new piece that he sought to bring. But Minister must know that we will do everything in our power to ensure that what we agreed is, in fact, paid. Nothing less.
Gibson contends that the union is pushing for government to pay uniform allowances to staff members who don't wear uniforms and shift allowances to employees who don't work shifts. Smith has argued that separating uniform officers from clerical officers would jeopardize the bargaining unit. The issue came to a head last month when government agreed to pay officers who sent a petition to the minister circumventing the union.
We'll give them a way out. We'll come to the table. We'll agree to give them the very same things we agreed for in 2014, in 2016 the financial package, and this other package of, must see, 40-something pages that is inclusive of things like vacation leave and sick leave and those kind of things, health and safety. Yeah, we'll agree to that. But like we told them before, all of that is already contained in general orders anyway. But if that's what he wants, to bring this to a closure, and for us certainly to protect those workers he's trying to pull out and make sure they can get their increments every year and not be stagnated because of this rash decision by the minister that he's concocted, really, then listen, that's why we'll come back to the table.
Still to come on our news, find out the latest on hurricane relief efforts.